This first video is for explaining your Autocad screen environment and general setup for each of your assignments. I've already accessed my desktop through MySCC, which I recommend you using, especially if you're using a Mac. So once you're here, go ahead. This is the icon for Autocad, and just note that we're working with 2020. So right click on that and pick open. This will take a couple minutes here. And if it looks something different, then go ahead and just pick I accept or OK. And once it gets to this part here, go ahead and just pick on Start Drawing. So in here, I want to explain a few things before we get kind of started with each of your assignments. And let's start at the very top. You have a quick access bar here that will come in handy. You have your icon here, the A symbol for Autocad, and if you pick on that, you'll just see what it has here. Now, all of this here is up here, so you really don't need to pick on that A if you don't want to. And for the quick access bar, we have New, Open, Save, Save As. You'll be using those most often. You won't really be using any of these last three here. Now you will be using this little drop down arrow here. So I'm going to pick that, and I'd like everyone to pick on Workspace and then pick it again. It's bumped it over here, and pick on Show Menu Bar. So what that did, that added this pull down menu bar, and it added this little box here, drafting and annotation. So if you pick on that, it'll tell you the different styles in which you can work in. And for this class, it's always going to be drafting and annotation. So the quick access bar here is very handy, especially over here where it has undo. You'll want to do that a lot of times. So anyways, just be aware of that up there. And for this other set here, these are our ribbons. So AutoCAD now has ribbons instead of toolbars. And this ribbon here is your home ribbon. So all of this from one side to the other, this is the whole home ribbon, and each of these insert, annotate, view. Well, we're not going to be using that. We kind of skipped over that one here. So anyways, the home ribbon is more likely going to be used more frequently. And so within each ribbon, you have little boxes here. You have the draw box, modify, annotation, layers, so forth and so on. In some of your assignments, it'll say go to the home ribbon. So when you do that, you're going to look at this set of tabs up here. Now this, again, this was the pull down menu. So sometimes I'll say in an email, go to the format pull down menu. So you'll pick that and do whatever you need to do. Now, if you noticed, some repeat. There's a view in the pull down menu, and then there's a view in the ribbon. So I will specify either view pull down menu or view ribbon. Okay, so don't get confused with that. So I'm always kind of going back to my home ribbon here. And I'm not going to take the time to explain all of these icons, and frankly, I'd have to look some of them up because there's so many icons in AutoCAD and so many things in here that frankly I haven't used, so it's not really important right now. So let's go down a little further here with the Start tab, your Drawing 1. When you initially start AutoCAD, it automatically starts a drawing for you. So if you want to get rid of that, you can just pick on the X. If you want to add another tab here, you can pick on the plus. And it'll keep on saying drawing 2, drawing 3, 4, 5, whatever. But what is a good idea is to immediately save your drawing as a different name. You don't want drawing 1, drawing 2, drawing 3, whatever. So in the initial setup, what you should always do is to go and do a save as and name it to your name of the drawing and into the right drive, which is going to be your H drive. So one of the reasons I recommend you using MySCC is because you have direct access to your H drive. So when you save things, it'll be in your H drive. So let's just kind of go through that really quickly. If I wanted to save drawing 2, let's say a drawing 1. Let's get rid of drawing 2 by the X there. And drawing 1, I want to go to Save As. And then over here, you'll want to pick on your H drive. And then down here, you will highlight that and name it Door. And then make sure that you are in your H drive. And it's a good idea to have an Autocad folder like I have here. So once you make that, and then you can put it in your Autocad file. And I'm going to go ahead and save that so you can see that the name Door over here appears. Okay. So what you're looking at over here is this file. So if I open up another file, if you already have it started, let's say I'll just pick this drawing here and I'll pick Open. It'll open up here, and that's the name of the file here. So you can switch back and forth. You can have a couple different files open at the same time, unlike some other programs. So let's go back to the Door tab here. And you're looking at your drawing area here. And there's a couple things that you should do because you don't need them, and they might cause havoc later on. First thing is to get rid of these two things over here. And the best thing to do is to go to your View ribbon. And these three are selected. Now you want to basically keep that there all the time. So the View cube and the navigation bar, we can get rid of. Okay. So I'm going to switch back to my Home ribbon. And then down below here, we have a command bar. Now you can keep it like that, but I recommend moving it down a little bit. And it's only one line here. So I like to have 2 or 3 lines. So if I hold down my left button on my mouse with those two little rows of dots, I can move it around. So I'm holding my finger down and I'm dragging it down here. And once you see that, lift up your finger. So now you have a couple of lines up here and the command line. So a lot of times this comes in handy so you can see what's going on within the command. And sometimes you have to read what's up here before you enter your command down here. So next is this little tab here, Model, and that's what you're working in. You're working in model space. And these other 2 tabs are for paper space. And in another lecture, I will explain paper space. I'll just do it very quickly. This is actually what you're looking at on the piece of paper. And in model space is where you are drawing. So I'll explain again that at a later time. Now you can always add more tabs down here and just think of these as different pages, okay, of a drawing, of the same drawing or different drawings. And then over here we have our toggles down here. and the word model, which is this space here. If we pick on one of these, it switches to paper. Okay, but you always want to be drawing in model space in the black background area right here. And some of these you don't need right now, so I'm going to deselect that. If they're blue, that means that they're on. So let's deselect some of these. And I would leave that one on. Okay, and again, that will be explained later. So as you see, I took off my grid and I have a black space here. But there are a couple of things that I'd like to also address. And I like to work, actually this is not really too black, but if you want to get it a little darker, you can right click anywhere in this place and pick options and go to display, pick colors, over here pick black, and then when you apply and close, you can see that it turned this from a dark charcoal gray to more of an intense black shade here. So in here there's a lot of other stuff that's going on, and one of the things that I like to do, because it's annoying sometimes, if you go to selection, I would deselect this little check mark here, and I'll show you later what that does. So deselect that and pick apply. The other thing here is user preference, and this is up to you. I'm going to leave it like that because there's two options where you could have this on or off. If it's on right now, and I'll show you what that does in a bit. So I just want to show you where that is. User preference, and right here, shortcut menus and drawing area. So pick OK. And now we have our working area right here.